This is Jeff Mucci with RCR Wireless News. We're here at the 2011 Wireless Infrastructure Show. It's the last day for the event here in Dallas, Texas, and we are with Anritsu, who's a world leader in test and measurement equipment, and we've got Dimitri Thornley, who's a channel distribution manager for Anritsu. He's a Texas A&M grad. Go Aggies. Dimitri, we've heard some news about your LT enhancements to some of your existing products. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about what those enhancements are.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Basically what we've done is we've announced enhancements to our LTE support on our Spectrum Master and our BTS Master family of handheld analyzers. These new test analysis tools added to the existing measurement capabilities enable field engineers and technicians to conduct nearly all the necessary measurements to successfully test, deploy, commission, and maintain LTE networks.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the feature sets, specifically the over-the-air capabilities of the products?
Okay, one of the things that we've got here, and I've got it up on the display here, is our new over-the-air testing capability. And in essence, what we do here with our transmitter test is we have the ability to test an eNode B transmitter in an over-the-air configuration when a direct connection is not possible. So as more and more deployments for LTE are going with remote radio heads, it's not possible to make a physical connection, and therefore a lot of the testing has to be done over the air. With the Spectrum Master and the BTS Master, you've got handheld analyzers that can support this.
So who's buying these today, and what kind of skill sets are needed to use these products?
We've got two products, the Spectrum Master and the BTS Master. The BTS Master is geared more towards a BTS technician. It also incorporates cable and antenna analysis, so it allows you to support the legacy side of the business where you're testing transmission systems up the tower. We also have T1 and T3 options in the BTS Master. The Spectrum Master is just that, it's just a spectrum analyzer. In terms of customers using this, Verizon Wireless is probably one of the leaders from an LTE standpoint. They are one of the more than 60 companies in over 20 countries that have selected Anritsu and selected our Spectrum Master and our BTS Master as their choice for LTE deployments. Basically what we're showing here is the new transmitter test function in the over-the-air mode. So if I back up, I'm in over-the-air, I click on over-the-air, it takes me in here. Again, what we're showing is the cell ID, the sync signal, the receive signal, power, the received signal quality, and the signal to interference noise ratio. And then we're giving you an average for the strongest, or for all the antennas here. If I click on the mapping button, this takes us into our coverage mapping. Again, what we're showing here is a map that's downloaded using our Map Master, comes directly off Google. I port it to the instrument. I basically go do a drive test, and I'm looking at the downlink coverage quality. And it's a quick check to say, okay, do I have a problem? If so, where is that problem? And then I can go try to identify it. This would kind of be a precursor to getting with RF engineering and getting drive test out. Sometimes that's not as simple as just picking up the phone. If I get back out of here and go to modulation, we can look at the power versus resource block for LTE. Again, it's a graphical display of what's going on with the LTE resource block and a visual graphic showing the power levels that can be an indication of a problem with the signal or anomaly with signal or traffic problem. So it may not be a problem with the signal, it may be for some reason I've got too much traffic on that sector, I've got to do something about it, because eventually what happens, quality goes down, customers get upset, it leads to churn.
Okay. So how does this data get loaded up to or get back to the network planning team?
So typically what they'll do is they'll share it. The information comes off the instrument via USB stick, so a field technician would go do that. And then what they'll typically do, Jeff, is if it's a situation, they will sometimes get drive test to come back out after the fact and do a full drive test and figure out what's going on. Drive test gives you a lot more information in terms of what's going on with the call processing. And so it's a much more detailed test. This is a quick snapshot to say, hey, we've got a problem, let me go out and see if I can isolate and see where the problem is and see what my downlink coverage is for that area where I've got problems.
So in summary, what are some of the key benefits of this product to the customer?
Basically, it gives you the ability to test LTE networks. One other thing I do want to point out that's pretty important real quick is EVM auto status. So when I've got an auto status, I can look at the PBH or the PDSCH when data is available in the LTE network. And basically what we're doing here is it's looking at two reference signals when MIMO is present. If you look down here in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see two little antennas. That's basically saying that it sees MIMO, and it's a good visual indication that the MIMO is working and operating correctly.
MIMO from one antenna.
Correct.
Okay.
Multiple input, multiple output. Multiple input, multiple output. In summary, when you look at the Spectrum Master in a handheld platform, we've got the capability to go up to 43 gigahertz, which makes this an ideal instrument for testing above 20 gigahertz. When you add in channel scanner interference analysis, basically the Spectrum Master can do any of the RF and the demodulation capabilities, the Spectrum Master can do any of the RF type measurements that you would need in a 4G network like LTE or 2G, 3G, or WiMAX network.
Dimitri, thanks for your time today.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it.